The Emmanuel Haro case is really starting to heat up. And I do mean that literally, because I'm sure you guys have seen by now, in a totally unrelated series of events yesterday, two people just randomly set Emmanuel's neighbor's house on fire. And authorities and the media, they say that this has nothing to do with the Emmanuel Haro case. Or at least, that's what they want us to think. Dun dun dun! But in all seriousness, I know that the internet is going to run wild with this. I'm trying not to read too much into it, but I don't think it's irrational to think that this may be connected. If anything, I think that's more logical than thinking that they aren't connected. Because hear me out here. We have this crazy missing persons case going on, right? We got law enforcement searching for evidence in the area. And then, just out of the blue, two people come and randomly set the house on fire right by Emmanuel's house. I think that it would be more likely that this is connected as opposed to this being a coincidence. But random things happen every day. And I want to be clear here. I don't necessarily believe that this is connected. I'm just saying that if you were coming in and you knew, okay, this house right here, we got a crazy missing persons case going on. A kid is missing. Cops are searching for evidence in the area. Two people burned something down in the area. I think it's, logical to kind of connect the dots. But sometimes crazy things just happen in this world. And I think this just may be a crazy thing. And I know the first thing that came to people's mind is, oh my God, these people are out there burning evidence. But there could be other possibilities as well. I think the most likely scenario is that these are just two junkies, two crazies out here setting fires. It's California. Stuff like that happens a lot out in California. That's why we were dealing with all of those fires a couple of months ago. But also, could this be someone who is following the Emmanuel case? Maybe they're upset, they're disgruntled. They come thinking they're burning down Emmanuel's house, but they got the wrong house. Or maybe they think, hey, we're going to try to burn down the whole neighborhood. Or maybe they're just like, I want attention. I know that the news is over there. I know all of the YouTubers and the streamers are over there. Let's go cause, some commotion. Who knows what happened? But it's definitely odd, and it really makes you think. Now, we also have a few other details that have come out. Of course, you guys have heard the rumors that Rebecca or Jake, one of the two, maybe even both, we've heard rumors that they went to the Big Five and they talked to employees about security cameras previous, before the day that they reported that Emmanuel was missing and that Rebecca got knocked out in the parking lot. We've heard those rumors. Now, law enforcement has not cleared anything up, but SF Investigates is on the ground in the area. He went to the Big Five. He talked to the employees, and they confirmed that, yes, Emmanuel's parents were previously at the Big Five asking about the security cameras. Now, is it 100% true that this happened? We don't know because law enforcement hasn't confirmed. What I'm confirming for you is that for a 100% fact, the employees are saying this happened, and we don't have any reason to not believe them. We have every reason not to believe Rebecca and Jake, though. Meanwhile, the lawyer is claiming that they're cooperating with police and investigators. Investigators are singing a different tune, let's go ahead and roll this news clip really quickly. Let's hear from the lawyer once again. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. But after I play this clip, of course, I'll be right back with more thoughts.
He's an attorney who has represented Jake Haro in past cases and is speaking on Jake's behalf today. Hey, Vincent, thank you for doing this today. Big question. Why have Rebecca and Jake stopped cooperating with the police if they're desperate to find the baby and the police are looking for the baby?
I don't know where the statement that they stopped cooperating came from, Ashley. I spoke to the detectives yesterday, offered for Jake to continue to speak with them, have not been made aware of any requests today to speak with Jake. I don't represent Rebecca. That needs to be very clear. But I have not been asked to produce Jake. I offered to produce Jake. They voluntarily turned over all of their electronic devices, including the passwords. I think that's something that's huge that nobody has been made aware of.
Let me just stop you for 1 second. I don't want to interrupt you, but you just said you don't know where the statement came from, Mr. Hughes. I'm going to read you the statement the police sent to us. Investigators interviewed multiple individuals, including Emmanuel's parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro. During those interviews, Rebecca was confronted with inconsistencies in her initial statement and declined to continue with the interview. So the statement came from the police themselves.
And I can't speak to the statement that was sent to you. I can tell you, I have personal knowledge. I reached out to the assigned detective and made Jake available. Jake wants to cooperate. Jake doesn't like the fact that nobody's listening. Court of public opinion is already out. Even yourself, it sounds like you guys already have your mind made up. Jake has voluntarily provided the electronic devices that there was a search warrant for, including the passwords. The vehicle that you were saying is breaking news that you brought up at the beginning of this broadcast is not something that is new. They haven't had their vehicle since Thursday night when this alleged kidnapping happened. So it's not new that you're saying at the beginning of this broadcast that it's new information. The vehicle is gone and make it sound like they just took the vehicle today. The vehicle has been gone since Thursday.
Yeah, I haven't made my mind up, but I will say this. This is a case that is definitely different than most missing children cases I cover, and I've done this for 38 years. When the police send me out a statement saying that foul play is potentially afoot, and when we get reports that they brought cadaver dogs to the house, and that the parents aren't cooperating, then yeah, spidey senses go up. I was actually very concerned when Rebecca referred to Emmanuel in past tense as well. Are you aware of that?
I saw the video like anybody else. I can't speak for Rebecca. I can tell you that she doesn't have a master's degree, bachelor's degree, any other degree in public speaking. So I can't speak as to that. Same thing for Jake. The thing that I don't understand, and like you're saying, this isn't like a normal investigation. Why has the sheriff's department not even released a missing persons flag? Let's put the onus on. There's not been one search party.
No, they did. They released the missing persons flyer. We showed it.
When the lawyer said that he wasn't aware of where the statement came from about his client not cooperating with law enforcement, it really took me back. Because I was like, you're the lawyer involved in this case. What do you mean? How do you not know where this statement came from? I am just a guy. I am just a normal guy in a Buc-ee's shirt and hat all the way across the country in my spare room next to an old popcorn machine. And I know exactly where the statement came from. Everyone knows where the statement came from. How does he not know? My only question is he playing stupid? Or is he not following this case as closely as we all are? I mean, honestly, how do I know? How do you guys know where the statement came from, but he doesn't know? That doesn't make no sense. He acts like people are just coming out of nowhere with this, the parents aren't cooperating. No, law enforcement came out and said that. And I'm sorry. Right? I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but when I'm looking at this case, I think I'm going to believe law enforcement over Jake, Rebecca, or their lawyer, who looks like a Timu Suge Knight or something. Listen, I believe law enforcement. And you know, Ashley was saying that she's been doing this for a very long time. I've been covering cases like this one for just a few years now. But I've followed enough cases to know that when law enforcement is moving in the way that they're moving, when law enforcement is acting how they've been acting while approaching this case, that doesn't mean that law enforcement thinks that Rebecca and Jake are guilty. No. The actions of law enforcement tell me that they know Jake and Rebecca are guilty. They don't think. It's not a sneaking suspicion. They know they're guilty. Right now, they're just in the process of putting a case together. Right now, they're in a process of building a solid case. They probably already got enough that they could bring them in, but they're going to wait. They're going to gather more. I'm telling you, law enforcement isn't just, oh, we're not going to search for Emmanuel at all. You know, they're not going to do that. They're not going to approach a missing kids case like this and just really just hone in on the parents aggressively unless they know something. So I don't think law enforcement is trying to figure out if the parents did it. I think law enforcement knows the parents did it. They're just trying to put the pieces together and to make sure they got enough evidence to have a very solid case. So Jake and Rebecca both go away for whatever role they had in the disappearance of Emmanuel. Now, with that being said, I want to hear from you guys about all of this, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.